sports coverage of the National Football League. Brings us to Indianapolis, Indiana, where they fire up the crowd with the striking of the anvil, as it's time for football at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coming up, two teams ready to square off. It's the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. On the Denver sideline, you get a look at their head coach. This guy's got the season started on the right foot, a home victory in the season opener. On the other sideline, the Colts head coach, Shane Steichen. His guys, on the other hand, couldn't pull one out last week in the opener, so they're looking for their first win at home here in Week 2. Mike Tirico, along with my partner Greg Olson, it's Will Lutz, the kicker, who gets this started. And off we go from downtown Indy. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Colts offense going to take the field here for the first time. And taking the snaps, quarterback now in his third year in the league.
Well, the nice thing about the NFL, Mike, is there's always next week. If you're coming off a good game, you got to put it to bed and come back and play well again. But in this case, things could not have gone much worse for this guy last week in that performance. So this game couldn't come fast enough. He said he had a great week of practice. He was able to put that behind him mentally and physically, and they're going to need him to play a lot better if they're going to come away today with a win.
He will get this to the 35, a little short of the first down. An early test to start this one. 3rd and inches. They'll try to sneak it here. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. On the give, this is Taylor. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
37-yard line. 1 yard gain.
So, from the 37, here's 2nd down and 9. He'll look to throw. The throw here is complete. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. 13 yards on the catch there. That's good for a Colts first down.
Yards on the play. That's good for a Colts first down.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. If you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And he maneuvers his way forward, a gain of 6. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3.
At the 39-yard line.
One of the tight ends motions right. On the handoff, it's Taylor. Nice play this opening drive, trying to keep it going here on 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down.
Out of the gun, he'll throw. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation. At that down and distance, they had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Forced the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
And he's not going to get there. The defense was ready for it, and they stop her on 4th down.
So the offense found themselves in a little bit of no man's land. They were too far for a field goal attempt, but too close to attempt a punt. So they decided to be aggressive early and go for it on 4th down. but it was the defense that turned him away with a huge stop to start this game.
Here comes the Denver offense set to take over for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
It was pretty clear after sitting down with him earlier in the week that he was just not satisfied with last week's performance. And while he was so clear, he's like, listen, I am thrilled that we won the game. He goes, I understand if we want to continue to stack up wins, I need to be better. And it starts with protecting the ball. So back to basics this week in practice, trusting what he sees, relying on his understanding of the offense. If all those things come together, I think we'll see a better performance out of him today.
He'll drop to throw. This one complete to Sutton. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
14, Portland Sutton. It's a gain of 6. And it's third down.
They'll throw here on third and short yardage. He's got his man. He finds Sutton. And he's going to have the first down taken down after a short pickup of 5. But it will keep the drive going.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And a strong first down run. A pickup of 9. Setting up second and short.
Brings up second and a yard.
They'll run for the first time with their fullback. And he'll work forward for a yard, but that's all he needed. This is going to be a first down.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. Third and short, fourth and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession.
That is going to be pulled in. He's got it. Touchdown, Denver. That his first touchdown of the new year.
And this special connection between this quarterback and his receivers, it was on full display right there. Great job getting behind the defense, and then what can you say about that ball? I mean, you can't put...
And before the try, remember, it is a touchdown. All scoring plays are reviewed, so replay will confirm this one before we do anything else. So, ruled a touchdown originally. They didn't find any reason to overturn it, and it stays on the board.
The kick is good. Makes the score Broncos 7, Colts nothing.
So now after the touchdown, Luck's going to send this one away. Anthony Gould now to return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. The Colts offense ready to get going with their second possession. Greg, they say flush a game after you lose, right? But when you built up all year for the opener and you get blown out, is it even harder to flush the players?
Well, certainly that's the question, Mike. And regardless of how much the coach stands up there and you try to say, hey, it's a new week, we've got to move forward. And certainly that's the case in the NFL. If you let bad losses linger, you're going to find yourself in a bigger hole. So the problem is when you spend all week and you spend all season saying, okay, this is week 1, we're going to get off to a great start, and you lay an egg and you're non-competitive, the last thing you want in the NFL, Mike, is for doubt to set in. So we're going to find out pretty quickly here in this one. Was last week just 1 out of 17, and they're going to move on, or is this going to be signs of things to come as the rest of this season unfolds?
And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
It's a gain of 21
Able to get loose after the catch for more yardage. That'll be a pickup of 21.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
It's a really critical conversion here because after not scoring on your opening drive, you just can't afford to follow that up with a 3-and-out. So you find yourself down 7-0. Sustain this drive, and at the very least, see if you can come away with some points.
He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second and 5. faking the give. The short pass taken in by Warren. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down.
That's good for a Colts.
Now they'll set up to throw. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 16
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
Colts, first down.
Throwing now from the gun. He'll let this go. Toward the end zone. That is caught. What a throw. Jonathan Taylor. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That his second TD catch of the season.
All week, we're going to see this play be run over and over as a highlight of the quarterback and the receiver. But, Mike, the part that people don't give enough credit to, in order to get a downfield shot, you have to have time. And what a great job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback to be comfortable enough in the pocket. Let those deeper routes develop, be on time and accurate with the ball. And that's why this play is going to be a highlight all week. Let's give the big guys up front some credit.
So back to level after the touchdown. In time for the kickoff. He fields it at the 8. Now a hit, and he lost the football. But this is taken in by a teammate. The Broncos offense ready to take over for their second possession. So, Greg, this offense comes on the road here in week 2. Look, road games are so hard in the NFL, but it's nice to hit the road coming off a win at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's amazing how winning creates more winning. It kind of has an ability to kind of build on itself. It's a snowball effect. So when you're winning, you're feeling good, everything works. And all of a sudden, you start losing, and you start questioning everything about your approach. So the key in the NFL is win or lose, you're on to the next game. And it's the team's ability to start fresh every single week, regardless of the previous week's outcome. Those are the teams that find themselves in position of the playoffs down the stretch.
They need 8 as they come up for third down. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He'll dump this down to the fullback coming out of the backfield. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Seems like the fullback is kind of the last of a dying breed, but we see them used occasionally in the run game. But, man, when you have a guy that you can target in the passing game, it just adds one more layer for a defense to have to worry about.
And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down.
Down at the 39-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4.
RPO, quick throw. There's Sutton. It's third and 4. They'll try to get this one on the ground. Oh, what a run. Down inside the 30-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw. He'll go right and find his running back. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Pair of 7s on the scoreboard. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. The Broncos in possession of the football to begin the second quarter. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's first and 10. As we are ready to get back underway. He's got his big tight end. Touchdown, Broncos. Greg, it's the quarterback's best friend, and you were that guy for a lot of years. The tight end in a tight area with man coverage.
Yeah, and it's really twofold, Mike, right? First and foremost, we see so many of these tight ends around the league that now have gotten to the point where one-on-one matchups, that's advantage offense. But then even in the cases they don't create great separation, Mike, it's their size, their catch radius. It's such a friendly target for the quarterback that when things get tight in the red zone, they look to the tight end.
Colts 7.
So now after the touchdown, Luck's going to send this one away. Here's Gould on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Colts offense starting to trot out for this next possession. Greg, when you look at the AFC South, there's an appreciation for what the Houston Texans have done. A couple of different quarterbacks, a couple of different head coaches. They've really been the team over the last several years that has been the team to beat in this division. And for the others, there's been moments. The question is, what pieces can they put together to try to knock Houston off the top?
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to be in a rebuild, right, Mike? Your coach got fired probably for a reason. You're drafted at the top of the draft order for a reason. Typically means things didn't go great. But if you're going to rebuild, I'll take
nowhere to go. He is taken down.
And we've seen this time and time again. When this guy is in a groove like he is here, I mean, he's impossible to block. I mean, the offensive line, they've got to come up with a better plan to slow him down, or he's going to completely wreck this game.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and third down. Coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
They'll look to throw. Completing this one to Downs. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
And the Colts, first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
42-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and
looking to set up that wide receiver screen, get it out to the edge, but they do not connect, and that one is incomplete.
87, incomplete. It's now 3rd down.
It's the quarterback with the sneak. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
That's another Colts.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
41-yard line.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
And it looked like that zone coverage had his head a little bit spinning there, Mike. I'm not sure he got a real clear picture of what the defense was giving him, and as a result, he holds the ball a little bit longer than he would have liked, and the defense is able to get home.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. They'll throw out of the gun. He'll dump this off to Taylor. Complete. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with 3rd down.
It's a pickup of 12 yards. Brings up 3rd and 6.
He'll go right back to Taylor, who's got it again. He's going to have the first down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
That is caught out wide on the RPO. And he's in! Allen Pierce. Touchdown, Indy.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. You can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns. Man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
We are all square. 14 apiece the score as this one's away. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Broncos offense and their running back set to go once more. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
Yeah, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned it 9 in a row, you think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think L.A. and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not put Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. Remember, that's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get your home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be real.
Nowhere to go! He's going to be taken down. The second-year man from UCLA, Laiatu Latu. He gets in to drop him for his first sack of the young season.
At some point, you would just like to see that internal clock start to speed up. The longer the play goes on, the more vulnerable you become as the quarterback. Get rid of the ball, but no matter what, you have to avoid the sack.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Oh, this pass rush dials in right now. They get him again.
And this is a great example of what can happen when you play complementary football. The back end holds up nicely in coverage, and then that front 7 is able to wreak havoc and put an end to this play.
And no run back here. Fair catch taken at the 17-yard line. Here's Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense heading back for their next possession. And he's been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers here in the first half. This defense will need to find a way to key in on him because he's eating them up right now. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. Not much there, maybe a yard.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
A quick throw on the RPO is complete. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
In motion is Warren. On 3rd down, they'll throw from the gun. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he's out of bounds, but all the way down at the 30-yard line.
7 on the play. And the Colts, first down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
That one is complete. And no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down, forthcoming.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 8.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he's going to be out of bounds, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. They've got it at the 8, first down and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And boy, tough to bring down there, fighting forward for a gain of 7. Now the Broncos going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to this second down play. Taylor is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
The extra point, up and good. And the Colts have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. From the 25, they'll go to work. First and 10. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7 in all outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets. Rams and Jags will also play in London week 6 and 7. Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season, all of these international games.
Yeah, I can tell you, Mike, having played one of the international games towards the end of my career in London, when I played for Carolina, it's a great experience. It's fun for the players, it's fun for the coaches, it's fun for the fans and the families. So I expect this slate to continue to expand. There's so many fun international cities around the world that love NFL football.
And from what you hear, there's more to come. We could be at the point someday, very soon, where every team plays one game outside the U.S. in each regular season. On third down, they'll set up to throw. Sending it deep for Waddle. And that is incomplete contact, but no flags. It's going to be fourth down. Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now. We'll punt for the second time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. He'll take this in back at the 16. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Colts offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's had things all his way in the first half. Those numbers are sensational. He looks to add to them with another drive here. Quick throw, taken in. Now the Colts will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll stop it just over a minute remaining in this first half.
7-yard pickup.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
And he'll wind up getting about 7 yards as he is forced out of bounds.
Alec Pierce out of bounds at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
Look to throw.
Brings up second.
Gets away quickly, and it's caught. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8. The Colts will signal for their third and final timeout. It comes with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's 1st and 10. To the left side and taken in by Down. From 2nd down, they need 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 45-yard line.
Back to the air one more time. He'll step up and run.
It's a gain of 8.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. It is 3rd and 10.
Riley Moss there defensively.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Really nice sequence of plays here defensively, not only to force the 3rd and long, but then you really take away all of the quarterback's options downfield, left him with nothing really else to do but to just simply throw that one away. Man, that would have been such a nice boost for this group going into halftime. The snap was good, the hold was good. He just couldn't quite get it through the uprights.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. He'll take a shot here for the end zone. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Touchdown, Denver. His 2nd catch of the game. And both have gone for touchdowns.
These are the plays that when you look back, Mike, they ultimately decide the outcome of the game. There's no time left on the clock. All they're trying to do is take a shot into the end zone. You've got to get depth. You've got to have guys that can go up and high point and compete for the ball. And you've just got to knock this ball down and go into halftime.
The kick here is good. And one more point, and that takes us to the end of the first half.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. We enjoyed it so much last week, the EA folks said, hey, come back, let's do it again. So here we are, week 2. Let's get after it. Our look around the NFL starts now. At MetLife Stadium, the Jets at home to take on the division champs 5 years running, the Buffalo Bills. And it's the 4th-year running back, Breece Hall. He's going to show some burst, and he has a score, 24 yards on the touchdown. From there, it's down to the Big Easy in New Orleans. We'll check in on the Saints as they play host to the San Francisco 49ers. And it's welcome back from injury for this guy, Brandon Ayuk. He's going to pull this one in, and then he sets his sights towards the end zone. It's a 59-yard touchdown. The Niners get the hard-fought victory. They win by 2. Last but not least, let's go to Baltimore. The Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. And it's Lamar Jackson. He connects. It's a 16-yard touchdown. The Ravens.
Both teams look good on the offensive side in the first half. Will it carry over? We're about to find out. Second half is underway. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Broncos offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. There's a short one taken by Ingram. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 35-yard line.
Blitz coming. He'll throw it. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he'll get him down after a gain of 5. But that is enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll take this to about the 46-yard line. That's Charvarius Ward, able to make the play. They'll come up here on second down and 5. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to somehow manage to get back to the line of scrimmage. But that's it. It'll be third down.
A loss of a yard. It's third down.
Now they'll set up to throw. Open man, left side. He's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds with a gain of 7. And that'll be enough for a first down.
And the Broncos
Off play
down.
action. He'll set up to throw. Sending it deep for Waddle. To the goal line and in. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown Broncos. That his second TD catch of the season. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
The kick by Lutz is good. Broncos go up by 7, 28-21.
21.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Ashton Doolin now to return it.
The Colts take over first and 10.
Colts offense ready for their first possession of this second half. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked the touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball to the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to...
Oh, he's going to be followed up and taken down. They got him.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Slot man in motion left. Throwing now on 3rd and long. That's complete to his running back, Tim. And he's going to be out of bounds, well short of what he needed. And the punt team will come on for 4th down. Now the return. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Broncos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Well, Greg, as the season starts, really the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release, the draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as this season gets going.
Yeah, you know, obviously so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes number 1, and then obviously with Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, man, I think you look at Ashton Jeanty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith? play action, set up that run game, play good defense. This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, the Heisman winner, Colorado, great play, both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and I think to start, you have to say, okay.
And he will score again. Touchdown, Denver. 3 touchdowns for the game, his first 3 of the year. And that is the hat trick. What a game. His 3rd touchdown reception of this one.
And nothing they've done to slow him down has worked, Mike, this defense. They're throwing multiple guys at him. They're playing man. They're playing zone. It doesn't matter. This guy is having his way, and he's having it down.
Makes the score Broncos 35, Colts 21. Will Lutz to
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. On the return, it's Doolin. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense. Now as they get set to take over once more. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener. You play a tight game and lose. It kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that golden rule? You don't want one loss to turn into 2, one bad play to turn into 2. The best teams in this league, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good, and there certainly was a lot of it. But can they move forward today and not let the disappointment of last week trickle into today?
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for this. It's Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, the ball carrier.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage of the game.
The Colts about to kick this one away as he's on to punt for the 2nd straight drive. Taken at the 19. That could have broken for a bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. And he'll get this to about the 36-yard line. So Forrest Buckner brings him down. 2nd and 5. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. This one out of the way. Good coverage there. It's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Shotgun snap as they'll throw it on 3rd down. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
In punt formation for the Broncos.
That is fielded at the 20. Colts offense getting set to get back to work. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And they're going to mark them down right at the 30-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards. And the Colts
back to throw. They'll try to set up the screen here. And he'll only manage a couple of yards before he's out of bounds.
Complete to Jonathan
From the
Taylor.
33, here's second and 8.
33-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8.
They try the jet sweep to the left. And this defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
Zone read, it's a give to Taylor. He's going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Now a first and 10 from the 38-yard line.
That's another Colts first down.
They'll look to throw. Down the field, he's got one. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
That's another.
His 5th catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
They'll come up here, first and 10. They'll run on first down with Taylor. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll come up now for second down and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
They'll go again here with Taylor. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up third down and 5.
He'll try and get there on the ground. And he's got the first down. He'll slide to a stop and take it to first and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, a chance to get right back in it here. First down and goal. They try to set up the screen, but this one's doomed from the start. It's incomplete.
Brings up second and goal.
No chance at all. He'll go down. That's the linebacker, Alex Singleton, getting in there to bring him down. His first sack of the season.
If there's one positive remaining, it's the fact that they're still in scoring position. But with the way they've been able to move the ball down here in the red zone, they're thinking 6. But after that last sack, their chances of...
To the end zone, it's intercepted. Picked up by Riley Moss.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. It's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. And it would appear they are on their way to a 2-0 start as they begin things here with first and 10 in this fourth quarter. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He'll get this into the hands of his running back. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
That's good.
It's a gain of 16, and very quickly, a first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
A run on first down. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. They'll try again here. Second and 10.
Second and 10. at the 36-yard line.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. And a nice game there. He's out of bounds, and that will bring up third down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down.
No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
First down.
They get the conversion in a big way. That's good for 29 yards.
Denver.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
From the 24 now, here's second and 5.
At the 24-yard line.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he'll bring this inside the 15. That's good enough for the first down.
That's another Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
In the red zone now, he'll drop to throw. And he'll wind up getting about 4 before he's shown the sideline. Here's second and 6.
10-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
This one complete to Sutton. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be first and goal.
That penalty is declined.
They'll try to run this one in. Trying to find a crease in that mass of humanity, but he's going to come up short. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll go with him again. And this is not going to do it either. Stop for no gain. And just like that, it's third and goal.
Brings up third and goal.
Now, faking the give. That is caught by the tight end. Touchdown, Broncos. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. So add another touchdown and touchdown pass for that matter. He has thrown 6 already in this one. Amazing stuff. Here's Lutz now for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Broncos will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. On the return, it's Doolin. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Colts offense ready to take over once again. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. There's that man again. Another
first down.
They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
He'll look to throw. The second down throw is incomplete. Third down, they need 5.
Incomplete. Brings up third and 5.
In motion is Warren. On third down, they'll set up to throw. And he's going to have the first down taken down as after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
For a Colts. First down.
They'll look to throw yet again. He'll dump this off to Taylor. Complete. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
A gain of 4. It's now
They'll run out of the gun. It's Taylor.
40-yard line.
And he'll pick his way forward. A gain of about 5.
Number 28,
And that's going to set up
Taylor,
third
the
down.
ball carrier. He was brought down by
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down. They'll go with the sneak. And he is going to have the Colts first down. As they manage to convert, that'll keep this drive alive. Quick throw, taken in, and he's close to another first down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
They'll work the middle here with Taylor. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
15 yards.
First and 10.
That's another Colts first down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's first and 10.
First down. First and 10 at
They
the
motion
16-yard
Pierce, the
line.
tight end. Quick throw here is complete. And he'll be forced out of bounds and pick up a couple on that one.
Pierce. He's out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
To the air one more time. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And that one's not fooling anyone. They were on that screen from the start. And a loss of yards on the play.
Taken down back at the 20-yard line.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports. After this, it is 3rd and long. They'll throw out of the gun. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. The offense not coming off the field, and here's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Now they'll set up to throw. That's taken in, and they continue to churn out first down. What a drive. It continues now with first and goal.
For a Colts first down.
They'll look to throw again. That one taken in. Touchdown Colts. His first touchdown of the new campaign.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
Makes the score Broncos 42.
This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick. The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away.
Well, we knew, Mike, this was going to take a miracle. All they needed to do was recover this, score, recover another one, score again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and this game's all but over.
The Broncos offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read, seemingly every time. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on first down.
35-yard line.
Timeout,
It's a gain of
Indianapolis.
8.
That
Brings
is
up
their
second
second.
and 2.
And they'll get together prior to this second down play. Here's a designed run. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him. Take him down behind the line.
It's a loss
The
of
Colts
2.
will signal for
Brings
their
up
third
and
and
4.
final timeout. We'll talk things over before third down. They'll try to get this one on the ground. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. First down,
That's
Broncos.
good for a Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Second and 11. So it is a win for the visiting Broncos. They get the victory here, away from home, to run their early season record to 2-0. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.